Greetings from the beautiful San Francisco Bay Area. Welcome to 5 Play Friday Live. What are we today? Super excited. Let's go. Greg Handy jumping in from Fairbanks. Will Mike Goodwin be joining you? Mike Connors in the house from Florida. You must have been early, Mike. Jason Hayes jumping in says he is a vacation day, so he is a full participant instead of like peeking at his phone while he's at work. Papa Les, cold in Chicagoland. Excellent. Give me just a second here. I'm going to make a modification. Because I can hear that background noise. Got it. That should be better. Let me do something here. There we go. Okay. Excellent. Excellent. Pittsburgh is in the house. Stan Bickler. Good to see you, Stan. 15 degrees in Rochester, Minnesota. That is too cold. We've been cold here in the Bay Area. Very chilly in the mornings. So right now it's 36 degrees. We're like freezing. Joe Rasa. Excellent. From sunny Florida, Leitner's in the house, and of course Mike Goodwin jumping in from Alaska as well. Great to see everybody. 8 degrees in South Dakota. Oof. Aaron Bender from Wisconsin. Great to see you. Awesome. And Ray Allen from the Bay Area. Oh, we got a great crew going. Chris Janish provided us a couple of great clips. One of them, which is a little mind-boggling, right? Because another official that we know is like in your clip. It's like, what's going on? Jim Best. Great to see everybody. And Gene Boglin. All right. Excellent. Excellent. Jeff, out for a walk. This is good out for a walk viewing. Yes, I agree. I agree. Get the voices of the game in your ears as you walk. Eli passed his test. Thank you. I appreciate you. Excellent. Esther Byer. Changed jobs just so she could watch the live stream. That's tremendous. That is tremendous. And Mark Asmussen from Chicago. I did not know that. Excellent. Chicagoland dominating. Alaska strong. We'll see. All right. Opening night tonight. Well, let's look at some plays and refresh ourselves so we can get ready. Awesome. Okay. Give me just a moment here. I want to be there. Wait a minute. Marcella Dobbs, the one and only Marcella Dobbs from the beautiful Bay Area. I did not know that Alaska was your home state. Now we know. We're learning something new every day. Okay, so I'm going to go there. I'm going to go there. All right, the season is getting go. Oh, I know what we're doing wrong. How about that? Yes. My tech team they didn't do the pregame checks today. I want to make sure this is up. Right. The season has started. We're getting going. We want to be great on the court. One of the ways we're going to do that is we're going to look at plays. Let's go. Greetings, everyone. Welcome back to 5 Play Friday, the show where we look at plays, analyze all of the things, and get better as basketball officials. Greetings again, everybody. My name is Greg Austin with A Better Official. I'll be joined today with a tremendous guest, but before we get to that, let's take a look at our very first play. All right, a simple out of bounds call. What do you have on this play? Were we correct? This is a scrimmage game. Was it out of bounds on black? Was it out of bounds on gold? What is your ruling? Put it in the comments below. And with that, let's take a look at play number 2. All right, what do we have on this play? There we go. What do we have on this play? We have a ruling of a jump ball violation to start the game. Is this call correct? Is this not called correct? We want to get plays right when we start the game. We want to start the game well. But what do we have on this play? So today, I'm joined by a guest today, Michael Williams. Now, many of you know I started officiating late in life. And when I did start officiating, I spent a lot of time watching other officials, varsity officials. And I remember the first time I saw Mike on the court, he immediately jumped off as somebody who the game respected. His demeanor was fantastic. He was obviously enjoying himself and executing. And it's like, as a young official, I'm saying, I want to be that. And it turns out, we find out his name is Michael Williams. I want to be like Mike. Oh, hold on a second. There we go. So, without further ado, let me introduce Mike. He is a many-time state final official here in California. He is an official for many, many years, over a decade, a collegiate official, a pro-am official, ABA official, has officiated Warriors practices. I want to find out about that. And just a fantastic representative of officiating in the game of basketball. Mike, how are you today?
I'm good, Greg. I'm good. Thanks for having me on, man. Glad to be here.
Awesome. Where are you in right now? Here in the beautiful Bay Area?
I'm right here in Oakland. You know what, Greg? I'm loving kicking this right off, but I would be remiss not to steal an opportunity here and just let everybody share with me 7 seconds of silence in honor. And those in the Bay Area are well familiar with my man, in honor of Larry Moyer, a longtime official who passed away on Monday. So if we can just steal from your show 7 seconds of just silence in his honor.
Absolutely.
Thank you, sir. Thank
you.
My
pleasure.
So yeah, I am right here in Oakland, man. I've lived here in Oakland for 35. My son's 32 for 32 years. And I've grown up here in the Bay Area. I grew up in the city. Been officiating, as you said, man, or at least at the high school level, for better than 40 years. And they're still letting me come out. So until it's time, Mike, I'm gonna keep on doing what I do.
That is tremendous. Well, I appreciate you joining today, and we're going to, talk about plays. What are we going to do? We're going to look at all the things, talk about what's important, what experience you can bring about how to adjudicate plays. And so today we're getting started with play number 1. It's pretty simple. We have a jump ball violation to start the game. Have we adjudicated this play correctly?
Yeah, the real interesting thing about, well, I won't necessarily call it interesting. I mean, just know the rule, right?
Yeah.
Interesting thing is, as you see the official who went to call the violation, we don't see the rest of this play, but you could tell he's confused right out the gate. He
Yep.
throws his arm up, I got a violation, or do I? Right? As he creeps in. This is clearly a legal play, because once the ball strikes the floor, a non-jumper or the official, it's now legal for the jumper to grab that ball. This should not have been blown. We should have been playing on.
Yeah. So one of the things we like to emphasize is recognizing, are we really ready to officiate the game? Right? We go to the court, we take our spot on the court, we're going to toss the ball up. We say to ourselves, I'm ready to go. But sometimes we aren't. And it's something that when we analyze our game video, like when I analyzed my game video, was I really ready to go? Did I able to beat the play down on the first play, anticipate the action? We also see that our calling official doesn't chop properly, right? When are we going to chop here? On the touch, on the legal touch? Should have been chopping there, right? So maybe we're just not ready to go. So a takeaway for me would be really recognize when you are ready to go, ready to start the game and officiate.
Yep, agreed.
All right, let's take a look at play number 3. All right, so a last second, I guess our one team's ahead by 3. Other team scores a goal. There's only a few seconds remaining. The officials do nothing, allow the clock to run. Have we handled this play correctly?
Yeah, real interesting play. There's two factors here that really come into this play, and the one that is most significant is the fact that there are under 5 seconds to go when that ball clears the net. That holds the most significance because the new inbounding team does not have to make a successful throw-in, and this game clock can continue to run. This is actually a casebook play that the team that tapped the ball out of bounds was clearly trying to gain an unfair advantage by having the clock stop, which would give them an advantage to which they weren't entitled. Because it's under 5 seconds, this play should be ignored, and the officials, I think, did the entire proper thing. A play that one of the teams here in the Bay Area does that's very similar to this when they're in that scenario, and I've seen them do it on multiple occasions, is after that ball clears the net, they grab and hold the ball so that the new offensive team can't take it out of bounds. And the same play, the same ruling should take place if it's under 5 seconds. The significance of it being under 5 seconds, of course, is what I just discussed. Now, the flip of that says if it's over 5 seconds, then what do you have? And it'd be interesting to see what the chat comes to say about that. Because it's a different rule. It should be officiated differently if there were more than 5 seconds on the clock. What do you think, Greg?
Yeah, well, first, of course, we're going to have to judge when is the ball at the disposal of the throwing team. If we look at this play, right, ball goes through the basket, right, at 4.9, but it wouldn't be at the disposal until about right here. And if there were more than 5 seconds here, we should begin a count, which would, and blue picks up the ball. Then we're going to continue the count. They have 5 seconds to release. This could be challenging end of game situations, especially when the game doesn't behave properly, right? Why are you not going for the ball? Why are you batting the ball? Why are you taking a desperate action as a defender, right? And so we just have to be prepared. If we're prepared, then we're in better shape here. But our crew does a great job in the end. We note the center official after the expiration of time offers an explanation to the coach. Right? We could do that briefly. We've wrapped up the game. Exit. Let's get out of here.
Yeah. Yep.
But the demeanor of the crew is great at the end as well. Like confident that they handled this correctly.
Yeah, the only thing I think on this play that may have been done slightly differently is if that C is wishing to offer any kind of explanation to the coach, don't put your hands out which to the crowd looks like the way he put his hands out. I don't know. I think we got it. Right?
Okay. All right.
His position didn't look like no. Right? It looked like, oh. So I'd be a little just concerned with his demeanor. Watch when he comes across right there. All right, coach.
Yeah.
What do you think? Right? Just the crowd doesn't necessarily read, what do you think? The crowd reads, I don't know. I think we got it right.
Okay. I like it. And if we look at the position of the crew initially, it's not ideal, but it is a sort of an end of game scenario. Let's take a look. Let's take a look here. Right, our center's working high, our trail's working very high, our lead's in a great position. Great, excellent. Yeah, that's a play.
Yeah, Billy Mack says, man, the ball was almost tapped out the door.
Wait a minute. Who? Billy Mack is in the house. First time all season. Oh, the legend is back. Awesome. All right, let's see what we have about this. Yes, Ray. We all want to be like Mike. That is the truth. Billy Mack, not a fan of the jump ball. There's so many rules and restrictions. The facts that have been limited to just the opening jump. I may share some of that. It is a bit outdated, but it's always great in overtime. We want that jump ball in overtime. Assume that Ray's talking about Larry there.
Yeah.
And Darwin Sonata, of course, hit the like button. Get this stream out there. Yeah, we got to be ready right from the start, but we also have to have a great mindset, Jason, but we also have to be patient and start doing what we do. We make decisions about calls we put in the game. If we start the game by reacting to a play that happens and saying, "Oh, that's got to be something. That's a put up a hand." We're not in the groove, and that's sort of like what I find when I analyze my game video. Am I completely ready to start officiating the game? And you got to be honest with yourself. And sometimes the answer is no. It just shows. So. We're still talking about the jump ball. Sorry. Ay. Well, why? I guess we moved on pretty quickly from that. I'm sorry about that, everybody. We can go. Microbursts of mayhem. Oh, Billy Mack is back. All right. Well, a jumper cannot, Eli, a jumper cannot hold the ball. If you make a judgment that a jumper, holds the ball in the crook of their hand like this, then that would be a violation. I don't think that occurred on the jump ball. Yeah, in regards to this play, Jason, let me go here. There we go. So that play came in from Jacob Krause. It is a great play. It's a great play to review, because what if we make a mistake here, right? What if we make a mistake and we erroneously blow a whistle? We had a play last year from Arizona where the officials erroneously stopped play, right? And that's what we want to avoid here. Because if we do that, we give the ball for the throw in, there's a steal, there's a layup, and yeah, we've screwed things up.
Well, it's interesting, Greg, if you take that into consideration, if we blow that whistle, this would not be considered a delay of game. This would be considered a technical foul. But
yes.
And it'd be considered a player technical foul. And it'd be considered such because he was clearly doing so to gain an unsporting advantage. Excuse my wording, but I love to talk from the book. So if somebody quotes me later, it'd be like, that's what's in the book, man. But that would be a technical foul. So I'm trying to find it again. Somewhere in the chat, I lost it. Stephen Baum. Yeah, we're not disregarding a delayed game. In this case, we're actually setting aside a technical foul, but there is room in the book to do so because of the time on the clock. Because if the team that's supposed to be inbounding it were to gain possession and we go live, meaning the count would then start, they don't have to throw the ball in. So for that reason, we're ignoring the delay of game. We're ignoring the technical foul because it doesn't have a bearing on the outcome of the game.
Gotcha. Correct. I appreciate bringing that up, the technical foul aspect that we're avoiding here. In that Arizona play, here, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll put a link here to the 5-play episode where we discussed that Arizona play. But in that case, they'd already issued a delay of game warning in the game and still stopped the play to again issue a delay of game warning and give the ball for throw-in, which was ultimately stolen on a length of the court pass and a last-second shot. Super exciting, but our crew made a mistake on that one. All right, we are three plays in. Let's take a look at play number 4. All right, pretty subtle action on this play provided by Chris Janish. Is this legal screening action right here? Right, we have a release on a try, and then subsequently on the rebounding action here, is the action by White in competing for that ball legal, right? And these are the things we like to look at when we analyze our game video is, we've made a no call. We made a conscious decision. Was it the right decision, etc., in both of these instances? And we can always look at the positioning of the crew because that's really what the foundation of being in great position to make great calls. What do you have here, Mike?
There's a lot. I think there's a lot to look at here. And one of the things is the lead's decision initially not to come across. In a three-person crew, it would be ideal that you never have the ball handle, the official that's on the ball to have to officiate more than three players. It's kind of a rule of thumb. The other two guys can handle four, but the guy on the ball should never have to handle more than three. Because I have four players over here, I kind of want to get over there as the lead. That would help the lead step outside of this so he can get a better look at that screening action while picking up the defender. That being said, I think we have a bad screen on White on the top when he steps forward into 11 as 11's trying to come out and defend that jump shot. Then you get into the second piece of that play right there where I think the C is still working his way down. And do I have an advantage by White on this rebounding action that maybe should be penalized? In my opinion, from that angle, I think White jumps towards Blue and displaces him and gets the tap on the ball. We could have had a foul there pretty easily and given Blue the ball on the end line.
Yeah, and there's the downward action by his left hand, which, prevents Blue from going up, right? Basically holding him down on that play. But you could say, well, why would we miss that, right? Because maybe our center was not in the position that they should be to officiate the play, or not officiating the play, right? If we look at the lead, right, the rotation, nothing in his primary, but not helping out on the screen. Seems to look up here.
He does. You're right.
Our center, if they had been more stationary, maybe they see that. Of course, anytime we look at game video, it's always out of context, right? What kind of game was this? How had it been officiated, etc. Right? So we can't make, final judgment. Oh, that should have been, etc. But what we can say is, we can make judgments about the crew positioning. Did they anticipate the action as they should have? Did they help in a two official scenario? Did they get to where they need to? Right. So if we watch the lead here, or I'm sorry, the trail on this play, right? Let's go here. On the rotation, right? So we're always at risk as trail of following the ball when it goes into the center's primary, right? And not finding something else to officiate. So in this instance, we fail to pick up the lead rotating, and then we are late to step down as center.
And on that play, in fairness to my trail /C, it was a late rotation, right? He should have gone earlier. And maybe White had been running a set where that screener does a dive to the hoop right away, and the lead was anticipating that bounce pass drive, and he was waiting for that play. And then when the guy didn't come, he's like, shoot, he didn't come, I got to go, right? So, we've all been there like, oh, this is that play. They're going to drive. Don't go. Here. Oh, shoot, he didn't come. Yeah. Right? And I go.
Yeah. We make decisions about how we're going to move on the court. We're making those decisions based on our fundamentals, but it's also what kind of game do we have? What is this team running? What can we anticipate? Right? And sometimes we make those judgments like I assumed the player was going to go right, so I stepped left, but he fooled me, stepped it right in front. I have a closed look.
Exactly.
It happens.
And you say, sometimes we anticipate that play. I had a coach tell me once, he's like, oh, you're anticipating the play. I said, Coach, I anticipate every play. And he looked at me with this totally bewildered look, right? But let's be real, guys. If we don't anticipate the play, then it's going to surprise us every time. Yeah. We're supposed to anticipate plays. That's what makes us good. Then that's when the game becomes slow motion for us. And let's be real. We're better when the game becomes slow motion for us.
I love it. And we want to anticipate the play. Obviously, we don't want to anticipate the call.
Exactly.
Awesome. We're still behind here. Boy, the chat's blowing up. I should put a marker in the chat so that I can know where to look. It's like, wow, we're going way back. Dave Craig has illegal screen. I agree on that rebounding foul, Mike. I thought the C is in good position throughout this, but they're officiating. They're not officiating the screening action, and they may have anticipated if there's something there, my partner's going to come get it. So Chris, who was on the game and supplied the clip, says, poor transition of my eyes in regards to the illegal screen. Yeah. Yeah. That's why these screening plays and a quick shot can become two official plays, right? And so if I'm the lead here, I'm thinking if I had rotated sooner and anticipated better, rotated sooner, and been a part of the officiating on that, we could have gotten that, right? And that's what we're looking at. Love it. Thanks for supplying the clip. Thanks for supplying the clip, Chris. Much appreciated. If you want to supply a clip for 5 Play Friday, there will be a link in the show notes below. How about that? We are making it happen. Esther has an illegal screen. Yeah. Our job's not to evaluate whether the defense was played well, whether or not illegal action occurred on that. Yes, Dave, the lead could have if they'd completed the rotation sooner.
And to that point, that is the reason he's rotating, right? That is the reason he would rotate. My C has 4 players. I'm rotating so I can help officiate this play. This is a 2 official play, and the reason the lead is coming is to officiate that screener. That is the reason he went across. So to go across and not have an opinion on that screen, or maybe he did and just didn't think it was a bad screen. But that is why he's coming over there.
Well, let's look at the eyes of the lead. They are looking back in their primary. I don't think they ever get to the screener. I don't think that's ever picked up.
Exactly, because of the late rotation. I had a guy, it might have been Larry Moyer, tell me once, don't officiate into the future. And what he was talking about is as a lead, when you're coming across, that is not your play over on the other side of the key until you get to the other side of the key. That's what he called officiating into the future. So that lead is supposed to stay on that post play or his primary in the middle until he gets to the future. Then he can officiate there. Now, all coming back to what we said initially, the rotation was late. We missed that play.
Right? So when we analyze our game video, right, we're looking at the result of the play. We missed a call. Oh, okay, we missed a call. We'll put that in the missed call column. But if we want to get better as basketball officials, it's like start doing some forensic work and breaking down why was I not in position as lead to help on this play? Because I was, my decision making was a bit late. My pace was a bit slow. What could I have done better? Do I transition my eyes to help my center, new trail here? And that's how we can get better as basketball officials. And that's why we analyze our game video. That's why I appreciate having Mike on to help us so we can all get better together. Tremendous. Where are we? We're on play number 4. Hold on a sec. I want to go there. Let's take a look at play number 4. All right, Mike. Good job at the crew here. Secondary defender. Double whistle. You take it. Offense. A lot of positives here from the crew.
A lot, Greg, and some good stuff to talk about. I mean, this really should be a pregame conversation, right? And the conversation, well, first in this play, look at my trail sprinting to the top as he's beginning to get stacked. He's like, I can't see between, and he sprints further out top to make sure he maintains an open look on this, right? Right here, he's realizing I'm about to get stacked, and this is my guy. My C could help, but this is my play, so I gotta fight for that open look. And he really makes sure he's sprinting out there to see that he can get that open look. I love his realization that he's about to be stacked, and he avoids being so. That being said, now the play continues, and we have the ball coming down on a strong drive towards the lead, and a secondary defender comes in. Here's the piece that I think is part of your pregame. We got a mechanic that's pretty clear that says secondary defender, that's leads call first. And outside guy, if you want to get in on it, let's at least make sure we have cadence. The piece of that, for me, that is pregame, isn't just what I just said. The piece of that says, and where is that secondary defender coming from? If that secondary defender is coming from in the key, it's open and shut case. Lead, that's your guy. But if he's coming from the outside, he's got a guy out there who may be shooting the three, but he's sliding in to help. It's easier for the outside official to officiate that player, and it could be his. That piece is a pregame topic for me. Every game. Outside guy coming in, secondary defender, outside official, you can still have this play. And what I didn't like about this play is I had a double whistle, and I had the lead pointed off. Let's try to get away from that. Let's stop pointing off plays. If you want the other guy to take it, just let him know you had a double whistle. That means we both had a foul. Point it off says, oh, I no longer have an opinion. And that's not true. You blew your whistle. You have an opinion. I jump out and say, I had white 35. I had blue with the push from behind first, right? Have that communication on the spot. It only takes a second. And then let the proper official come out and report the foul. That piece I didn't care for.
You know, this is a great clip. If like you could make this a part of every single pregame, right? How are we going to handle a play like this? And how are we going to handle a defender from the outside, which is relatively unique, versus a player from the inside? Inside, like you say, 100%, that's going to be the lead all the way. When it comes from the outside, it's a little unusual for us. But this is a great pregame discussion play. It's in three-person. I do like a number of things about the movement of the crew on the play. Let me say, right? So that, like you say, the trail does a great job keeping the open look, but our center also steps up to a high C to receive this action, and that basically comes into his lap, right, on this play. Our lead says, I'm rotating, right, but then once he detects the ball is coming to the basket, stops, right, and these are great habits and fundamentals. So a lot of positives on the crew. This would be a great clip to include in your pregame or discussing the concepts involved here of a secondary defender on a seaside drive, one of the toughest plays we have as basketball officials.
Some of the comments coming in on this talk about how do we as a crew communicate when we have double whistles. And some are just saying, well, whoever primary it is, keep it, and the other guy, just drop your hand. And again, I would say you don't have to come together to communicate what you have. I had white 35. I had blue 15 first, right? Or whatever it is. It's a step out. Make sure you have visual so that they can see your mouth. and you audibilize what you had. And then you can let the guy that you want to come out with it. But I do think we far too many times have a devil whistle and somebody decides to just not have an opinion now. Well, you didn't decide that when you put your hand up, so don't decide it after you put your hand up. Now, it's a different thing if everybody in the gyms knows, oh, I had a devil whistle, but it's clear as day what that is. Then you don't got to communicate, right? There's only one defender involved in the play. You don't have to have that communication. You know what we got unless you had a push from behind. Then you want to come in strong. So I think anytime you have a devil whistle, you have two opinions, and each official should know the other's opinion before you go to the table with it.
Great point. And, as opposed to pointing, maybe head nodding, like, yes, right. You got white 35 or whatever it is on this blue 20 charge. Yeah. Right.
Well, Greg, I actually wouldn't do that either.
Oh, okay.
Because if you head nod and everybody in the gym got it right, you're like, cool. What happens the next time if you don't head nod? Is that saying, well, I think you got it wrong?
Don't lay the groundwork.
Pick up on subtleties. If you're like, yeah, and then on a close call you go,
Les O'Connor likes it. Great discipline by the crew. Yeah. It depends on what you've pre-gamed and how you're going to handle it. Billy Mack likes the patience. Okay. And again, that's something you can communicate pre-game. If I drop my hand, I'm saying you take the call. But Mike's suggesting let's make sure that we have the same thing prior to doing that. Or if we, by expressing what we have. Rick Watson's in the house. Good to see you, Rick. Yeah, there's a case to be made. Let's work the system. Whose defender is this? Even though it's unique, this is the leads, etc. Let's also look at the reporting by the calling official. Well, first off, right, this play is like a little mind-bending from me because it's from Chris Janish, who I put in South Dakota. But Andrew Gross is the calling official, somebody we know from Facebook, a future guest on 5 Play Friday. And I didn't put Andrew in South Dakota. My geography is starting to fail me here. But the reporting by the calling official is really good as well. Right? Preliminary. Moves to the reporting area. Lets the players clear. A little shallow of the high school reporting area, but obviously we have great view and ability to communicate the call to the table. But that's a super positive to me as well, something I'd want to emulate in my game. I need to do this. The Zooch is late. You are. 2 demerits. Yeah, the good news here on this play is it's pretty obvious what we have. It's not a real banger, right? If we had something that we could potentially have something different, then we'd want a lot more communication. The less opportunity for that will affect our timing on that. Love it. Stan making the case for lead rotating sooner, right? If we go back to the start of the play, right? So I'm lead, I'm mirroring the ball. So I'm going to be pretty wide here, looking at this post-action top at the free throw line. The ball obviously goes strong into the center's primary. I'd probably be in close down right here. Yep. And I could go assertively, but detects the player going to the basket. Right? Once we see that drive to the basket, we don't want to complete the rotation. Call correct. All right. Love it. Love it. Thanks. And again, thanks to Chris Janish for that clip. Much appreciated. You want to supply a clip for 5 Play Friday? There's a link on the screen and in the show notes below. Awesome. Let's now move on to play number 5. Oh, it's like that, huh? All right, so we, at the start of the show, had a play, an out-of-bounds play. It happened really quickly. Did we get the play right? You've made a comment in the comments below. Tremendous. Let's now look at that play. That wouldn't be the right thing there. Huh. What am I doing wrong here? Oh, I see. Never mind. Hold on. Tech team. Okay. All right, give me just a second. All right. Earlier in the show, we had play number 1, an out-of-bounds play. Let's take a look at that play and see if the official got it right. Two. All right, there's a lot going on here on this play. As a calling official, we have to look at a number of things. And just handling these plays, Mike, is really important that we show strength and confidence in our rulings, right? We're going to take all the information that we can get from the play, make a decision, and make a ruling on the play. This was a banger. This really caused the head to spin.
Yeah, there's a few things going on with the mechanics of that official.
Oh,
I'm not sure who that guy is, but you know, I don't know if you know this, Greg. Actually, yes, I do, because I had you as a guest. I do training every summer of new officials coming into one of our associations, the NCBOA, right? And one of the things I asked them to do is, guys, gals, the first thing I want you to do every time you blow your whistle is what? Put your hand up. Give me a stop clock. And here I got my vet just giving me a direction. But okay, we'll get past that. That
I
being
appreciate
said,
that.
that being said, we got to love this new facility. That's that new facility at Bishop O'Dowd, their $40 million facility. Haven't been in it yet. That being said, we've got a play here where the official has to decide to step more onto the court, not necessarily suggest a good mechanic, so that he can look through and see what's about to happen on his line, or to do a big hustle directly off the court so he can see this line. Because what happens is he ends up with a gold player kind of stacked in front of the black player, black jersey player, where I don't think you have a good look on this play. In my opinion, on this play, you may even have a foul that, in my opinion, you would pass on and just give direction, just give black back the ball. I think by far this is a simple out of bounds play, black ball on sideline.
Wow. All right. First of all, the hair moving around is really distracting out of my peripheral here. But what's interesting about this play to me, one that's really good here, hold on, is the brain. We have to take in all these pieces of information. What do we have to take in here? obviously the defender's foot here. I'm sorry, the offensive player's foot. The defender's hand is the defender contacting the ball, right? This is like the initial information.
Uh-huh.
Right? Our offensive player puts his foot down, then jumps in the air. Did he step out of bounds first? Our defender here has a knee. Is that out of bounds? Yeah, I think I got it right. I think Gold did it last.
Well, if you think
no, I got it wrong.
There we go.
Oh, that's a banger.
Yeah,
right?
Watch his left foot, not the forward foot, but his left foot as it comes behind, right, coming down there. You may have a case to say that foot touched the line, hence the reason I'm going the other way. But honestly, with your angle, I don't think there's a chance you would have seen that. Right here.
I'm pretty tall.
I go with that.
All right. So, many officials suggest that the hardest call to make is block charge, right? Out of bounds calls can be really challenging as well, right? And we want to have 100% information when we make those calls, right? We want to know all of the things. We want to be 100% sure. Sometimes the game says, here's a lot of information, make a decision, right?
Second decision.
Yeah. So one of the things we have to have is strength and conviction, right? That allows the stakeholders in the game, they may disagree with the call, but we express our certainty, and that allows the game to move forward and the game and the stakeholders to have confidence. At the same time, if we're in a position where our crew can help us, sometimes we want to build into our game a strength call, but then be willing to take information. Not really a factor on this play. Didn't do that right. Let's see what people had on this play. Oh, Paul Sullivan's in the house. Excellent. Good to see you, Paul. And Scott Calvin, the Bay Area is representing. We could always, we could go to the Arrow. I'm not sure. I don't think we had illegal contact on this play. I don't. Where do we have it?
It looked like he may have grabbed Black's arm. I can't really tell on the clip.
He got
but
ball.
Like
yeah.
Ball loose, right?
That official is thinking. They are thinking hard.
Love it. You made a comment earlier, Greg, that people don't believe me maybe some people would agree with me. I love to hear it on the chat. I think the most difficult call to make in basketball, you're going to chuckle at this, is double dribble.
The deceptive hand coming up near the ball.
Not even so much that. Just a freaking double dribble. My mind just goes to, wait, did he dribble again? Did he dribble before? Oh, shoot, right? And I don't know why that play tends to get me thinking more than I've set myself up for block charges. I've set myself up for bad screens. I set myself up for other plays that seem difficult. The double dribble seems to be the one that I find that gets me in. When I find myself in trouble, it's a double dribble that usually got me in trouble. And how many double dribbles do you really have in a game anyway, right? So now it's not only a simple call, but it's a rare call. I get caught off guard on a double dribble more times than not.
Well, I'll tell you, one of the reasons is because it happens over a period of time, right? On an out of bounds call, that player is out of bounds. A double illegal dribble, right? They have had to had some action first and then a subsequent action.
Right.
That's a factor as well. And sometimes, your look closes momentarily. I'm not sure, but the timing of the play seems like something must have happened. A lot of things can work against you there. But the thing,
Jim, Jim in the chat. Come on, I'm with you. Thanks, Mike. You're right, and Greg, you helped me with that too. I've been calling it double dribble for 40 years. Yes, yeah, illegal dribble.
Tony disagrees with our calling official. Oh, I see how it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we got that one wrong. But the game does appreciate conviction and decisiveness. And also, Greg points out, is like, in retrospect, yes, we could have anticipated and made the quick move, like in our previous play where the trail to stay with the open look really makes a hustling move to get that. In this play, if we transfer our eyes to the players involved, it's like we're a little late in that anticipatory action. But yeah, if we were stepped out one step onto the court, we'd be in better position. Yeah, and for those not in the know, this gym used to be a cracker box with the elevated table, in a loft where your scorer is like 15 feet up in the air, and you report up, and you have to step onto the court. But they've invested a lot of money in a fantastic, tremendous new facility here at Bishop O'Dowd High School in Oakland.
I get my first look at that facility. I got games there tomorrow morning, so I'm actually kind of excited about being able to go and check it out. I haven't been in there yet.
Excellent. You enter the same way. They built it as an extension of where the old gym used to be, or the old gym still is, but it's you'll find out.
All right.
Door-to-door salesman skills. I like it. Billy says hardest call travel at the end of a dribble. And we'll have a travel at the end of the dribble call coming up here on a bonus play. All right. The chat's blowing up. I'm behind. Uh-oh. Calling me out on the point. Okay. Fair enough. The open hand. Awesome. Yeah, Billy supports the over a length of time. Adam says his toughest is verticality. Yeah. Yep. Because we're going to judge A to B movement by a defender. We have to see where they left the floor from. And sometimes our eyes don't get to that spot. We're a little late. Again, a transferring of the eyes situation.
Thank you for that, Ray.
Oh, okay, cool. This is a scrimmage. No numbers. Yeah, we are just working the game. All right. Yeah, all right. So we've reviewed 4 plays. Let's look at play number 5. Not the best look at the pivot foot here, but I was trail on this play. He definitely kept the pivot foot here. This is a step-through play. What do you have here, Mike?
I mean, I like this play. I like this play for a couple of reasons. First, I'm going to talk mechanics. Look at my lead, demonstratively say, wait, like somebody just got blown up. He almost gets to the free throw line with this travel. Like, dude, it's a travel, Dex. Just stay there, beep, travel, other way, right? So I got that piece. Then the second piece, if this were three-person, I don't even want the lead having I want him to have an opinion, but I don't want him cracking this. I want my trail cracking this, who may have gotten stacked on that play if I had three-person. That being said, I'm pretty sure this guy had a good pivot that he merely lifted and did not return to the floor prior to releasing the ball. I think we have a legal play. Here's the pivot up and does not return. This should have been a legal play, in my opinion. But again, to your point, it's not the best look at his pivot foot with that gold player standing between the camera and his foot. But from my angle, from my opinion, I think we had a legal play.
Yeah, as trail on this play, I had it legal as well, right? There was energy in the gym. Oh, travel, right? Sometimes that energy can just influence just a little bit.
Yeah, it's right to us, doesn't it?
Oh, I had a play at a high school game earlier this week where it was a blowout. It was an 85-25 game. And there was a out of bounds call right in front of these three students. They're right on the lower level of the bench. And they're all like, oh my God, his foot. It was an obvious out of bounds. I blow my whistle. I said, I'm polling the audience. Was that out of bounds? They were like, yeah. We do like to have fun. Yes, indeed. I'm not dominating my control of the show here. My tech team has not set me up for success today. Jason says if it was three-person, would be looking for help from the outside.
Yeah.
Trail, isn't it? The 28-foot mark. Oh. Well, wait a minute. In my defense, this new gym, they have not yet painted the 28-foot line. Had a look. I'll take that. Yes, agree with you. Right on. All right. Well, we've had 5 plays, so I guess, yeah. No. We've had 5 plays. We're probably done, right? No? What? Another? Okay. A bonus. Tough play in real time. What are we thinking about?
Well, let's start with where we're inbounding that ball. Pre-game topic. All right. I'm inbounding that ball just above the free throw line extended.
Mm-hmm.
Am I doing that from the lead? Or should that be inbounded by a trail official? By the mechanics book, it might be that official's line to inbound, but we may actually do a switch here. Mm-hmm. And the lead becomes the trail because we are above the free throw line on this inbound. Got a case for that. Got a strong case. The mechanics book is actually it's actually wishy-washy on this. In Mechanics Illustrated, they'll tell you you can do either one. You can switch, or you can bring the trail across, the current trail, across
Mm-hmm.
to the other line in the lead, run across to the opposite line, sideline. The official's manual says, no, you inbound your line, and so my current lead would come up and become trail, and my current trail would go down and become lead when you're above the free throw line. This absolutely should be a pregame topic so that we're making sure how we want to do that, and we're not figuring it out on the court. Now to the play.
Okay.
I love, again, I told you about my newbies. I teach my newbies, you blow your whistle, what do I want? I got cool Breeze working here. He's like, hey, bring the ball in. Nah, you can't do that, man. That's backcourt. Let's go the other way. All right. It's just as smooth as could be. But come on, let's blow our whistle. Let's get our hand up. And then let's go ahead and make the play. I think it's a correct call. We have backcourt. He took a dribble in the front court and then went directly to the backcourt. That constituted a dribble there. He's in the backcourt. He's clearly in the backcourt. Maybe my trail should be higher so he has a better look, but he got the call right, so I think he got it right. He had enough of a look to make this call correctly.
All right. That's a tough one. So your case for backcourt violation, well, let's talk about team control on a throw-in, right? Mm-hmm. Let's start there, because obviously when it occurs on a throw-in, requires that we have player control, which you're suggesting happened with a dribble. Let's take a look. Right? The ball is touched.
I don't think we have player control yet here. That's just a touch.
Right? And you're saying this is a dribble? That first action down?
Yep.
I might make pushback on that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the definition of a dribble is the pushing of the ball by a player in control, right? So that's a question on this play. But what's our judgment, right? We're making a judgment about this action. And if you judge that was the initiating a dribble, then this would be a backcourt violation by rule. If that had, boy, that's close.
Yeah, and in the gymnast world, he sticks this landing. You see 2 feet stop in the front court, and he has the ball, and he took it to the floor with a dribble. I think you have gained player control in the front court. Note my wording, because the significance of team control here is twofold. We have team, and this is an interesting topic that I'm really curious as to why people confuse the intent of. A few years ago, we changed the definition to give team control on a throw-in. But the significance of team control on a throw-in is just for the purpose of fouls, meaning if we have a foul that occurs and we're in the bonus, we're not going to shoot for the purposes, so they said, because you had team control on the throw-in. But in this case, you never have player control in the front court until he takes that dribble. And at that point, you have player control. Now, if he'd have tapped that again without player control, even though they had team control and the ball went in the backcourt, then we have no violation because they never had player control in the front court. In this case, I think that second dribble and him sticking that landing gave him player control in the front court. Hence, the subsequent step into the backcourt is why you have a violation.
All right. Well, again, the conviction we have on the court, the judgment that we make, we want to show strength in our decision, right? Again, this is a scrimmage setting, right? So it's a little informal. I'm confident our calling official in a game setting would have stricter mechanics, let's put it that way. But this is late in the scrimmage. But it's a good play for review and determining whether this player gains control. If you have something different on this play, put it in the comments below. Does this player gain player control with a dribble by rule or not? Let's see it in the comments below. Look at that professional YouTuberism. Greg's point as well is if we have to watch it multiple times to make a determination, maybe the best option is to pass on that play. That's a case could be made. Mike says similar. Yes. Scott has control with the dribble. Okay. Excellent. Esther would have granted a timeout, which is obviously the criteria we need to grant a timeout request would be, does the player have player control? Rick's got backcourt. Mike is torn. Bonus play is all about judgment. All right. Yep. Your point's well taken, Mike, about the free throw line extended. And your point is also well taken about the ability to, I like to say, audible in a throw-in situation like this. If we have a sideline throw-in, oftentimes what we're going to do, I'll let it be determined by where the trail is. If the trail was out towards the middle of the court because they were, guarding a closely guarded matchup or something like that, then maybe our best move is to just allow the trail to come over so we can keep the players boxed in effectively. But if our trail had stepped down, like for a three-point shooter, but instead it was a skip pass across the court, and now our officials are more widely spread, then the by-the-book move of the lead coming up to becoming new trail for the subsequent throw-in. That's my preferred method, and something I'll pregame as well.
I like that.
Yeah, that's where I am. We can disagree on that. Okay. All right. For our live stream viewers.
Stuff, you know it.
Yes.
Talk about basketball and talk about plays, man. I'm all in.
That's a great point about clips are out of context. We're officiating a game, right? And there's many things that go into that. And we see a clip and it's completely out of context. We don't know the temperature in the game, what's happened previously, the calls that have been made, etc. But there's value in analyzing all the things. And that allows us to get better. And a critical thing for new officials is to analyze your game video. Get your game video. See the positioning you have on the court. See how you show strength in your demeanor and certainty on your calls, right? It's the number one way for rapid improvement as a basketball official. Mike, thanks for joining us today. I'm going to let you go. I appreciate you and want to have you back. Let's look at plays. Let's do it again.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. All right. Thanks, everyone. We are going to wrap. I appreciate everybody joining in. The chat was blowing up. I couldn't keep up. It's really challenging when I have a guest to stay connected with the chat because, I'm involved in a conversation. My tech team may need to elevate their game and start doing some chat management. It's cool. All right, everyone. Make it a great weekend of officiating basketball. Get all your calls correct. And we'll see you next week for Basketball Rules Expert on Wednesday. Take care.